Let us start with disaster management topic. So we'll start with a model question answer. This is a question from disaster management topic itself on cloudburst. The question is explain the mechanism and occurrence of cloudburst in context of Indian subcontinent. Discuss two recent examples. So we'll start with introduction. In introduction it is the definition of cloudburst. So a cloudburst is an extreme amount of precipitation, that is some intense and sudden downpour that could last for over a minute or even could extend up to an hour. So you can say over a short period of time, typically over a small geographical area. So the area is limited to small geography. It is not something that would cover the entire country or even an entire city. So it leads to sudden and severe flooding. The Indian Meteorological Department defines cloudburst as rainfall equal to or more than 100 mm in an hour over an area of 20 to 30 square meters. So you can see that small geographical area as considered by IMD is just 20 to 30 square kilometer. And if rainfall is more than 100 mm in an hour, so we would consider the phenomena as cloudburst. So what is the mechanism of cloudburst? So if we try to understand the mechanism, it is primarily caused by convective clouds. So those convective clouds, that is, they lead to convection current. These clouds are mostly cumulonimbus cloud. So these clouds form when warm and moist air rapidly rises, leading to condensation of water vapor and the subsequent formation of clouds. So what happens is cold and warm air are there in the atmosphere. So warm air, since it is light, it would rise up and it is replaced by cold air. This leads to creation of convection current. So this is a circular process. The warm air would rise up, it will go up, it will condense and cool down and then come down in the form of a rain. This is the convection current. So this cloud burst is basically caused by convective clouds, which is cumulonimbus cloud. The convection process is fueled by factors such as solar heating, moisture availability, and atmospheric instability. So what happens is if there is more of solar heating, if there is more of heating, so water would be evaporated and moisture availability will increase. So these two factors would lead to atmospheric instability and would lead to creation of convective clouds. With these convective clouds reach a critical point, they can release a large amount of precipitation in a short period of time. So what happens is if there is increased amount of evaporation and increased moisture availability, so the clouds get very heavy up in the atmosphere and there can be sudden downpour in a very short period of time. So that sudden downpour is cloudburst. The upward and downdraft within the cloud system promote the formation of large raindrop, which descends rapidly due to their size and gravity, resulting in cloudburst. So what happens is in normal rainfall, the raindrops are not so large, or the clouds fall down. The rainfall happens, but its size or gravity is not as huge as what takes place in cloudburst. So that is what differentiates rainfall from cloudburst. So there are few factors which would lead to cloudburst. First of all is orographic lifting. So what happens is cloudburst mostly takes place in mountainous region. So moist air are forced to rise up due to topographic barriers like Himalaya. As the air rises, it cools abruptly, leading to rapid condensation and formation of cumulonimbus cloud. The same process that we discussed earlier. So all these kinds of cloudbursts and all mostly happens in mountainous regions near Himalayas. For example, you have seen that Kedarnath cloudburst incident and then Dehradun recently cloudburst incident. So the second important thing for a cloudburst to take place is high moisture availability. So moisture-laden winds from Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal feed into the region. A convective instability can form when moist warm air at the lower level is trapped under a layer of cooler air, preventing dispersion. So you don't have to go much in detail, we just have to understand that there are 3 or 4 factors which would lead to cloudburst. First one is orographic lifting, second is high moisture availability, third one is sudden trigger. So any disturbance such as western disturbances or localized heating can destabilize the atmosphere and it could lead to cloudburst. And then fourth important factor is microphysical process. So strong updraft and cumulonimbus cloud hold large amount of water droplet and ice crystal. Once the updraft weakens or precipitation loading become too heavy, water falls suddenly, releasing massive rainfall into short span. So if you have to explain what is the mechanism of cloudburst, so we'll just write that it is primarily caused by convective clouds. Those clouds are known as cumulonimbus cloud. So when warm and moist air rises rapidly, leading to condensation of water vapor and subsequent formation of cloud. Basically, you have to explain the convection process, and then you would write that there are four factors responsible for mechanism of cloudburst, whereas those are orographic lifting, high moisture availability, sudden trigger, and microphysical process. That's all. So if you have to, this is the first point. If you see the question, explain the mechanism. So mechanism, you have to explain the entire convection process, how warm and moist air goes up, it is replaced by cold air as they descend downward, and when the cold air above is too heavy to hold itself, so it comes down in the form of precipitation or heavy downpour, that is cloudburst. And then you can just draw a diagram of the convection current diagram that is very normal in NCERT books, you would get it there. Now we have to discuss the second part, that is occurrence of cloudburst in context of Indian subcontinent. So where does it mostly occur? If we see, there are Himalayan and northeastern regions which mostly experiences cloudburst. It is mostly common in Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Sikkim due to complex topography and monsoon interaction, and in Western Ghats also due to localized cloudburst occurs due to intense monsoon spell, especially in Konkan and Kerala. So if you have to describe where does cloudburst occurs in Indian context, so it is mostly in Himalayan and northeastern regions and then in Western Ghats. So why does it occur in Himalayan and northwestern region? It is because of complex topography and monsoon interaction. Why does it occur in Western Ghats? Because of monsoon wind, intense monsoon spell, and especially in Konkan and Kerala. Urban areas also experience cloudburst, but it is very rare. For example, Mumbai 2005 floods were due to cloudburst. So monsoon, dynamic and localized weather pattern contribute to occurrence of cloudburst. During the Indian summer monsoon, moist winds from Arabian and Bay of Bengal bring abundant moisture to the subcontinent. When these moisture-laden winds interact with local weather system, they can trigger intense convective activity leading to cloudburst. A recent example, first one is Amarnath cloudburst. Then there is Kulu Manali Himachal Pradesh cloudburst. You can add the recent one Dehradun cloudburst, and then of course Kedarnath cloudburst as well is one old example. So that's all for this topic. We will discuss the next question in next video. Please keep following for more detailed answer discussion. Thank you.